are bright and early on a Monday morning. Greetings, and everyone joining the live stream this morning. An impromptu live stream where we're going to finish up those CBOA study guide questions that we started yesterday morning. This will get into some specifics for California rules exceptions. California uses NFHS rules plus rules exceptions, including shot clocks. Some differences on the girls' side for no 10-second count in the backcourt, no closely guarded while dribbling. But many of our, actually all of our first 100 questions that we did yesterday in the live stream, all covering National Federation of High School Rules and Restrictions. So we're all good on that front. Boy, I look funny. I look funny in this shirt. What's going on? I see. So we're impromptu. We are live. We are kind of futzing around a little bit. And move in to cut that off. Not our usual format. But if you missed the live stream yesterday morning, we are required for one of my associations to complete this 215 question study guide. So I figure, why not just do it live, sort of an office hours scenario. Yeah, Mike, I did have a live stream. I did the first 100 questions. It took a while. So you know that the kids are like doing their Twitch live streams and stuff, and they're playing games, and they go live for like 6 hours and have meal breaks and all sorts of stuff. What a challenging thing that is. But yesterday we went live for a couple hours and did the first 100 questions. Nothing too extravagant. This is really just bare bones. Let's look at the questions, the rules, scenarios, and go. So we are, wait a minute. Any of these sounds playing? Hold on. I have things moved around a little bit. Huh. How about this? How about if I go... Okay. All right. I see where we stand. I see where we stand. All right. I'm just going to get into it, and we're going to start looking at those rules questions. I need my scenes here. All right. So this is our format here. The question, I'm just taking it off the website. Again, I have to do this live. Okay. All right. So here we are. We're at question 101. See if I can cut down on my time per question. That's going to be key. I'm moving this. Oh, I see. Move this down just a smidge. Go there. Move this up. Let's try that. Okay. Here we go. So again, this is focused mainly for California officials. We have to take this study guide. Our local associations do meetings where they go over study guide questions. I figured I would just jump in, go through the entire thing. If some officials working on the study guide have questions, they can be answered here, potentially, if we get them right. And the other thing is, this is not the actual test that's also required. The test is taken from the study guide questions. So that's what we've got going on. I'm going to move that there. And we're going to get started with our first Question. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Mike. Hey, no cheating. You can't tell me the answers. All right, question 101. When does the official's jurisdiction end? Right? This is a super important understanding we have to have. And obviously, our answer here is B. After all of the officials have left the visual confines of the playing area, right? We have a crew of 3, 2 officials leave, 1 official stays on the court. We still have jurisdiction as a crew. We have to be aware of that. But once the officials leave the visual confines, our jurisdiction ends. The coach comes rushing in with the scorebook. Whoa, we made a mistake, right? It is too late. That is when the official's jurisdiction ends by rule. Question 102. Which of the following is true when the ball is loose after B3 deflects a pass from A1 to A2? So we know A1 to A2, a pass, we have team control for Team A. Just that's like given. And we have a deflected pass. Single answer is A. Team A has team control. Is that a true statement in this instance? Yes, it is. B. There is no team control. A1 has player control. No, they do not. And A2 has player control, right? Ball being passed between teammates, team control does not end. Our correct answer here is A, and we are off to a flying start. Feeling good, feeling good. Team B's coach is standing and giving instructions to his or her players out of bounds in front of the Team B bench and is 2 steps from the end line. Is this allowed? Yes, it is. The coaching box extends from the end line to the 28-foot mark in National Federation of High School Basketball rules. I believe there are some states that may deviate from that, but here in California, that's what we have. That is extended. It used to be from the 14 feet from the end line to the 28-foot mark, a 14-foot coaching box, but now we have the 28-foot. So this is a legal action. So A is not correct. Wait a minute. B is not correct. D, rather. There is no penalty. Team B's coach is legally within the 28-foot coaching box, right? Understanding the coaching area. Sometimes coaches will stray a little bit and go a step or 2 past the end line to get an angle, right? Something we can address. We obviously have 3 levels to do that. 1 is, hey, coach, can I get you back in the box? 2 is an administrative warning. Coach out of the box, administrative warning, put it in the book, big production, etc. Those are our options. Mike Connors, I'm not taking questions at this time, Mike. I have to plow through this. Boy, it took a long time yesterday. 104. Which of the following results in an alternating possession throw-in? A. A technical foul on Team A while the ball is dead. No. B. A double personal foul when a team is in control of the ball. No. C. A double personal foul when no team has control of the ball. Yes. A double technical foul on B5 and A5 after a made basket and before the ball has been picked up, right? So if we have a double personal foul when no team has control of the ball, release of a try, 2 players under the basket, they're engaged, they're both grasping each other and pull each other to the floor, double foul is ruled. Great. Double foul is ruled. We go to the point of interruption. What is the point of interruption? The try missed. There is no team control. We would go to the possession arrow in the event of that happening. So which of the following results in an alternating possession throw-in? The answer is C. 105. Which is R true of successive timeouts? The elusive successive timeouts. A, they must be requested by the same team to be considered successive. B, they occur when granted to either team prior to the clock starting. They shall not be granted after the expiration of playing time for the second half or expiration of any extra period. Boy, there's a lot of words in that answer. Maybe that's the right one. C, there is no such thing as a successive timeout. D, both B and C? Well, there is such a thing as a successive timeout, and it is defined in the rules book. And the correct answer is B. They occur when granted to either team prior to the clock starting. They shall not be granted after the expiration of playing time for the second half or the expiration of any extra period. That's a one period of time where successive timeouts are not allowed, and successive just means timeouts. So we can have a situation where Team A coach requests and is granted a timeout. Team B coach in that end of game scenario requests and shall not be granted a timeout because of the successive timeout restriction. 106, A1 with both feet in the air catches a passed ball, lands on one foot, jumps, and finally lands on both feet simultaneously. Which of the following is A1 allowed to do? A, lift either foot off the floor while maintaining possession of the ball and not returning that foot to the floor. B, lift either foot off the floor and begin a dribble. C, this is a traveling violation. It is not a traveling violation, so C is out of the equation. They cannot lift their foot and begin a dribble in this instance. Can they lift either foot off the floor and not return it to the floor? In this instance, neither foot may be the pivot. I'm going to phone a friend. I'm going to go with A, and you can let me know if I'm wrong on that one. This is a point that I'm not super clear about. Whether, so we have a player jump off one, land on two. Neither foot can be the pivot foot, but can they lift a foot, either of the feet, and not return it to the floor? It's helpful that Mike says A. Makes me feel better. But that's what we're going with. 107, prior to the start of the game, Team A is assessed a technical foul for failing to have the roster, including starters, in the scorebook before the 10-minute mark of warm-ups. That technical foul is classified as. First of all, this is a poorly worded question. The teams have no responsibility whatsoever for any information getting into the scorebook. Teams have the responsibility of providing the information to the scorer. The scorer could have a blank scorebook at the 8-minute mark of the game, but they may have two sheets in front of them supplied by the team that provide that information. Disconnect the status of the score book from the responsibilities of the team. The team are required to supply that information. It's a distinction a lot of officials have a misunderstanding about. It's like, well, the information wasn't in the scorebook. We're going to, that's not the team's responsibility. Okay, prior to the game, they are assessed a technical foul for failing to, let's say, supply their roster, including starters, before the 10-minute mark. What kind of technical foul is this? This is an administrative technical foul by rule. There is no direct reaction on the coach. No loss of coaching box. B, a team technical foul. No, it's administrative. An administrative technical foul, loss of the coaching box. There's no reflection whatsoever on the coach for this action. The coach, not affected. So our correct answer there is B. 108, which of these describes incidental contact? Great. Screens that are set outside the visual field of an opponent that allow an opponent to make inadvertent contact with the screen, providing the screener is not displaced if he or she has the ball. Wow, that's a lot of words. B, contact that does not hinder the opponent from participating in normal defensive or offensive movements. That sounds like a good generic description of incidental contact. Contact with an opponent that is permitted and does not constitute a foul. Well, that sounds good too, right? So we have both of those are definitely true. So we're going to, even though there's a lot of words there and I didn't really comprehend it, we're going with all of the above here. as the best answer for our question, because we're moving on. This is not the test, it's just the study guide. 109, the official bounces the ball to A1 who has a 2-shot free throw coming. The ball hits A1's leg and bounces away, and while the ball remains in the free throw semicircle, B3, an opponent of the thrower, requests a timeout. We've covered this play before on Basketball Rules Expert. We obviously have to be masters of status. We need to know when restarts begin and when they end. When does a throw-in begin? Until the throw-in begins, the ball is not live. When the ball is not live, who may request a timeout? Either coach, any of the 10 players, 5 from each team, during a dead ball may request and be granted a timeout. In this instance, has the ball become live? The official bounced the ball to the thrower and it hit off their leg. Has the ball become live? No. The throw-in has not started because the ball has to be caught by the thrower in this instance. So we are not going to ignore the request. We're not going to wait until the first free throw. Grant B3's request at this point would be the correct answer. The ball is still dead in this situation. That's key. We must be masters of status. I have to give a brief aside. I was at a meeting last night doing some presenting about correctable errors. Wait a minute. Where's my overlays? Here we go. Okay. Right. I'm presenting on correctable error scenarios, and we show clips, and the ball goes through the basket, the ball is dead, and I make that statement, and several officials in the group were surprised by the fact that the ball becomes dead when it goes through the basket on a scored goal. That was a bit astonishing to me. That's just a brief aside. Had to share that. So in this instance, the ball has not become live. All is well. Let's move on to question 110. Team B is leading Team A. Hey, if you're watching the live stream now, there is no responsibility to stay. This may last at least 90 minutes, maybe a couple hours. But I'm moving at a more accelerated pace than yesterday. Team B is leading Team A by 5 points. The Team B head coach, who has already been charged with 1 direct technical foul, begins to vehemently argue with the officials, drawing a second direct technical foul. The head coach is the only coach on the bench, and there are no other authorized school personnel in the gymnasium. So we have a situation where the coach has been ejected. There are no qualified individuals to continue coaching the team. Do we let the dad come out of the stands and take over that responsibility? I don't know if this is a National Federation of High School rule, but in California, no, that would not be allowed. This game will be terminated. We will not continue without the coach. Officials will declare the game has come to a premature end, and Team B is awarded a 50-45 victory. The officials declare the game a forfeit. So we have our team that is leading loses their head coach. It's got to be this game is a forfeit. It has to be. Whoops. I mean, we can't. Otherwise, you could have a situation where a team goes up 2-0 and no, wait, they got to get a little bit, they have to get a little more comfortable lead, right? They get like a 5-point lead in the first period, and the coach says, does some flagrant act, or not a flagrant act, but gets 2 technical fouls. Oh, we win 5-0, right? That one kind of stymied me there for a minute. All right. Question 111. Which of the following are true while A1 is holding the ball out of bounds for a throw-in? Okay. During a throw-in, they are holding the ball. The throw-in has begun. Rules and restrictions apply. The special rules and restrictions related to throw-ins. Is the ball live? Yes. Yes, it is. A1 is in player control? No. No, they are not. Team A is in team control, and that's a true statement. So A is true, C is true, so our correct answer on the question is D. Both are true. The ball is live, and there is team control by rule for the administration of fouls. Question 112. A1 is fouled and awarded 2 or 3 free throws. A11 and B20 are waiting to enter the game but are not allowed in because of the multiple free throws substitution rule. Before the first free throw, it is discovered that A2 is bleeding and must be replaced. A11 replaces the bleeding A2. Can B20 also enter the game? When we are in that multiple free throw situation where the players have to wait until the final free throw is about to occur before they can be brought into the game, if it is discovered that a player is disqualified or bleeding and must be replaced, any situation like that, we are going to allow those substitutions in by rule, as we would as well if a timeout was granted. So there is no restriction. All players can enter. So our correct answer is D. So the direct question is, can B20 also answer? And yes, they can. I'm sorry, you can't really see the answer there. Too many words. Not a fan of too many words. Not a fan. Hey, Papa Les, good to see you. All right, question 113. Team A is awarded a throw-in by the alternating possession process. Before the throw-in is completed, B5 is ruled for a foul on A4. It is Team B's fourth team foul, and Team A is awarded a designated spot throw-in nearest the foul. Does the alternating possession arrow change in favor of Team B after the foul is committed? Right. So important to understand about using the alternating possession arrow is once the throw-in is completed, that is when the arrow is switched. If you've got great table personnel, they'll usually hold up the possession arrow during the alternating possession throw-in. Once the throw-in ends or there's been a violation, then they will switch the arrow. The arrow does not change until the throw-in ends. In this situation, we have a foul during the throw-in. The throw-in never ended, so we would not be using the alternating possession arrow. It has not been used. It would retain its original status. So it will not be changed. It will still favor Team A. Yes, that's our answer. We like simple answers. I don't even have to go through the other ones. 114. Which of these technical fouls cause a direct technical foul to be charged to the team's head coach? The head coach failing to replace a disqualified player within 15 seconds, that is a direct technical foul. The assistant coach disrespectfully addressing an official, that is not a direct on the head coach. Bench personnel being assessed a technical foul is not a direct. So our correct answer is A, the head coach failing to replace a disqualified player within 15 seconds, the penalty for which is a direct technical foul on the head coach. 115. What is the result if B1 reaches through the end line boundary and makes contact with the Team A player attempting to inbound on a throw-in? That's odd language.
Are you online? Are you doing a show?
I am streaming, yes. What fuels the stream? Now we're talking. Thank you. Yes. ad hoc live streaming. Okay, what's the result if an opponent of the thrower reaches through and contacts the thrower during a throw-in? That is an intentional foul on Okay. Not a fan of our answers here. This is an intentional foul by rule. Would it also result in a delay of game warning being assessed to that team as well? Yes. So our correct answer should be, okay. But if there had been no previous warning for delay, in this instance, the player violates the plane, contacts the thrower. That's an intentional foul by rule, right? Thrower or their eligible substitute shoots 2, and we would resume play with another throw in back at the original spot. If there had been no previous warning for delay, in addition, we would assess a delay of game warning as well. If there had been a previous warning for delay, that portion of the equation is not brought into play. There would be no resulting technical foul. In addition, just the intentional foul on the play. 116, Team A is leading by 1 point when the game clock shows tenths of a second. There are 0.2 of a second left in the last period or half. Resuming play by a throw-in, a score can only happen as the result of a tap. 0.3 seconds or less, only a tap once a player catches the ball. Yeah. I'm going to reduce my language. No score can happen. That is incorrect. A quick catch and shoot in the same motion will not. And no score can happen with only 0.2. No. 0.3 or less, a tap is allowed by rule, not a catch and shoot. 117. During A1's first of 2 free throws, A2 and B2 are both in marked free throw lane spaces and commit simultaneous free throw violations. A1's try is successful. What is the result? If the teammate or a teammate of the thrower, if the thrower or a teammate of the thrower is involved in a violation or a simultaneous violation by rule, the ball has become dead and no point can be scored. If an offensive player is involved, the ball is dead, no point can be scored. That's a quick way to remember, right? Because we have a simultaneous violation. Okay, let's make it simple. Is an offensive player involved? No. Yeah, we're not. Both violations are penalized and the free throw is canceled is a true statement. We are not ignoring a violation. Alternating possession, throw in. Okay, during A1's first of 2 free throws, so A1 would be awarded a second free throw. We will not have a throw in, and then we are good to go. (118) B5 is in a marked free throw lane space during A1's free throw attempt. It is a violation if B1 does which of the following prior to A1 releasing the ball? A, breaks the free throw lane plane with his or her foot, but the foot does not touch the floor. That is illegal by rule to break the plane with either foot. Breaks the free throw line or plane with his or her hand and touches the hand to the floor. Well, that sounds illegal. C, breaks the free throw lane plane with his or her foot and touches the foot to the floor. Those are all illegal, so the correct answer would be all of the above. 119, which of these statements is true in regard to the colors of the team's uniforms? The home team must wear a light-colored jersey. That is an incorrect statement. The home team must wear white. Oh, that's our answer B. The home team must wear white. It is recommended that the home team wear white. The home team may choose what color to wear, and the visiting team must be prepared to wear a contrasting color. By rule, the home team must wear white. Obviously, there can be exceptions to that in certain circumstances, such as Cancer Awareness Month. The team's allowed to wear pink. There can be special circumstances, but by rule, the home team must wear white. 120. Just after the opening tip, it is discovered that 3 Team A starters are wearing different numbers on their jersey than the numbers indicated in the scorebook. What is the penalty? We must now, of course, make a change to the scorebook. What is the penalty to do so? Team A is charged with 1 administrative technical foul, and the numbers in the book shall be corrected. That is our correct answer. Every single team member could be discovered at that point. We have to change each one. Or, well, let's say in this instance, instead of 3 are discovered, 1 is discovered, and then later in the game, 2 additional ones are discovered. 1 technical foul covers all of those events, and it is an administrative technical foul by rule. When we assess a technical foul, we must understand what kind of technical foul it is. Administrative, team, substitute, player, bench, right? That's key to the equation. Question 121. During the rebounding action that follows A1's unsuccessful try, A2 fouls B3. The foul is neither intentional nor flagrant. Team B is in the bonus. Okay, so we have a foul. Do we have team control in this situation? It was an attempted try. Once there's a try, no team control. Let's see what our possible answers are. A1's try. Okay, A2 fouls B3. So B3 should be awarded, or Team B rather, should be awarded no, they are in the bonus. Bonus free throws should be awarded to B3 here. We will not have an alternating possession. This is not a team control foul. This is a common foul on A2. B3 will shoot bonus free throws, right? The key component to this is there is no team control on a try, right? So if the opposite had happened, B3 fouls A2, A2 would shoot, etc. 122, A25 and B25 scramble for a loose ball. They gain possession simultaneously, and the nearest official blows his or her whistle in preparation for ruling a held ball. Oh, I guess we're going to talk about signals, the change in the signals. In the past, this would have been correct. A, the official comes in, and this was the simultaneous stop-the-clock held ball situation, but we are... The official should loudly yell, "Hey, that's a jump ball." That's a good one. So our new mechanic now, a couple of years ago, the official should simultaneously, with blowing the whistle, should give a stop clock signal, not with a closed fist. Stop clock signal with an open palm. Then come in with the held ball signal. But I'm going to try this in my next game. I'm coming in, "That's a jump ball." No, that's not our correct answer. We're not doing that. No. Sounds like fun, though. 123. When is the ball considered to be at disposal, right? This is going to be how free throws and throw-ins start. This is going to be how the ball becomes live in those situations. Understanding at the disposal is critical to our success as a basketball official. Let's see what our possible answers in. A ball is at the disposal of a thrower or free thrower when it is handed to the thrower or free thrower. That is a true statement of fact. B, ball is at the disposal of a player when it is caught after being bounced to him or her. That is also a true statement, which makes us think maybe the answer here is going to be multiple, right? C, ball is at the disposal of a player when it is available after a goal and the official begins their throw-in count. That is the definition of at the disposal after a scored goal. So our correct answer is D. All of the above. In all of those situations, the ball is considered to be at the disposal. There are additional situations, some of them special, Using resumption of play procedure, putting the ball on the floor and the official begins their count, etc. But all of those are true statements. Our correct answer is D. 124. A1 is fouled but erroneously is not awarded free throws even though the bonus is in effect. Sounds like a correctable error situation. Team A is given a throw-in, and after the successful throw-in, A2 and B2 cause a held ball. The error is discovered during the dead ball period, which follows the held ball. The possession arrow favors Team B. Merciful heavens, what do we have in this situation? First of all, in a correctable error situation, we get information, hey ref, we should have shot bonus free throws. We need to do some detective work, some forensic accounting of the situation. What has occurred? Are we within the correctable error time frame? That's the first thing we have to determine. But before we do that, we may note, what is the status of the ball? Where is the ball? And has there been a change of possession? Okay, armed with those facts, let's endeavor to try to answer this question. This is like might trip me up. So Team A is erroneously given a throw-in, and after the successful throw-in, there's a held ball situation. The error is discovered at this point. Are we within the correctable error time frame? The ball became live. The ball became dead. Has the ball become alive again? No, we are in the correctable error time frame. We are going to correct the error. We are going to award bonus free throws. Now, are we going to award bonus free throws with players in marked lane spaces or not in marked lane spaces, and how will we resume after that? That's what this tricky question is getting at. So, Team B has the possession arrow. So, as a result of the held ball, they will be awarded possession. My first reaction is that is going to mean a change of team possession. We would shoot the free throws with the lane cleared and award the ball to Team B for the resulting throw-in, alternating possession throw-in. That's going to be my first reaction. Play resumes with the result of A1's free throws. So that would be if we did not say that was the case. It is too late to correct. That is not a true statement. A1 is given a one-on-one free throw attempt, and the players occupying the positions on the free throw lane, or A1 is given a one-on-one free throw attempt, and the free throw lane is cleared, followed by a throw-in for Team B. I'm going with D on this. I believe that the held ball creates a change of possession. At our point of interruption, what do we have? We have a Team B alternating possession throw-in. Since that's the case, I'm going with D as my answer on that one. And I get confirmation from Les O'Connor. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. Yeah. I can move this up a little bit. When I move it up, it cuts off. So my only option here in terms of on the screen is to have it down here at the bottom. I could do something where my face is not cut off. Let's see. I can do that. Yeah. Okay. All right. 125. In which of these situations may A5 be ruled for a 3-second violation while A5 is standing in the free throw lane line in his or her front court? So what do we know? What do we know about 3-second? We have to have team control. The ball has to be in the front court, right? Those are requirements before we can consider 3 seconds, right? Obviously, during a throw-in, it wouldn't apply. While the ball's in the back court, it wouldn't apply. So, A, is during a throw-in by A1? No. 3 seconds is not in effect. B, when A1 has possession of the ball in Team A's front court while the ball is loose following A1's interrupted dribble. Do we have team control in the front court? Yes, we can have a 3-second violation by rule. C, when A is in possession of the ball in the backcourt, or none of the above. B is a true statement. This may be our lowest priority when the ball is loose on the floor in the front court, but we do have we are required to consider a 3-second violation. We have team control and front court status. When that is the situation, we may rule a 3-second violation. Oh, excellent. The fourth quarter ends with Team A ahead by 1 point. Before the officials leave the playing floor, Team A head coach verbally abuses them for their performance. One of the officials assesses a technical foul to the Team A head coach. Whoa, can you do that? Right? The official's jurisdiction has not ended. They are within the visual confines. The time has expired for the game, but the officials assess a technical foul on the head coach of the team that is ahead by 1 point. What happens next? Right? We are going to administer the free throws that result from that technical foul. That's going to take a little game management, right? We have chaos on the court. Teams are maybe high-fiving and whatever, or approaching that, right? But we are going to shoot those free throws, obviously with the lane cleared, and the result of those free throws will determine what happens next. If the opponent makes both free throws, this game is over. The opponent has won. If the opponent makes 0 free throws, this game is over and Team A has won. And if the opponent makes 1 of their free throws, the game is now tied and we would go to overtime. So it's a great scenario to think through as an official, just like what's going to happen here, so that when it does happen, and again, what do we have? We have a chaos situation. It can throw us for a loop. So the game is over? No, the game is not over in this situation. Team B is awarded 2 free throws as part of the fourth period. If Team B makes both free throws, they will be awarded a victory. That is a true statement. Team B is awarded 2 free throws as part of the fourth quarter. If Team B makes 1 of their free throws, the score is tied. We will go to overtime and commence with a jump ball. That is also a true statement. So our correct answer is D, both B and C. Question 127. Which are true of correcting bookkeeping or timing errors? A timing error must be corrected in the half or extra period in which it occurred, and a bookkeeping mistake can be corrected at any time until the referee approves the final score. That sounds like a very clear statement. A timing error can be corrected at any time, and until the referee approves the final score, we are immediately not correct there. So we are not both. Our correct answer is A. Mike is saving me again. Excellent. Thank you, Mike. Although, when I went to redo the test, the previous day, Mike allowed me to save my previous 100 answers. I did that, but when I went back, they were not saved. So I'm going to have to redo those. But this will give me a head start. Question 128. When may cheerleaders or other entertainment be allowed on the court? During both a 30 or 60-second timeout is incorrect. During a 60-second timeout is correct. During a 30-second timeout is incorrect. And there are no regulations is incorrect. So our correct answer here is B. During a 60-second timeout and during intermissions, cheered squads, dance squads, etc., and of course at halftime, are allowed on the court. As part of our duties as a referee or as the crew, if we have a situation where cheerleaders, we're going to go to game administration prior to the game, talk to them. We're also going to talk to cheerleader administrators and confirm that they understand what their restrictions are, right? They're not allowed within the lane line extended if they are on the end line, and they are allowed on the court during 60-second timeouts or intermission. part of our pregame responsibilities in that situation. And it's a fantastic part of the high school experience. The cheerleaders, the band, all the things. 129. A1 attempts a three-point shot. That's some language to put in a rules question. The ball hits the backboard and is tapped by B2. While still in A's front court, A3 touches the ball with both hands, but muffs the ball, which bounces into the A's backcourt. A3 gives chase and is the first player to secure the possession. This is one of the most commonly asked questions about backcourt for officials. The key component is, in order to have a backcourt violation, we must have team control on the court, last to touch front court, first to touch backcourt. Understanding the status of the ball is critical in this situation. How do we begin this question? A1 attempts a three-point shot. Once we have a try for goal, some language that could have been used on this test question, once we have a try for goal, we no longer have team control. So until we have player control on the court, we will not reestablish team control, and we will have a period of time where there is no team control by rule. That's the key part of this equation. So while still in Team A's front court, A3 touches the ball with both hands, but do they hold or dribble the ball? No. So we do not have player control. Goes into the back court where A3 gives chase and then holds the ball. At that point, the team has team control. So this is not a backcourt violation. The answer B expresses that well. But the key component here is understanding what are the requirements for a backcourt violation and understanding status, that we had no team control by rule. Question 130, A1 is awarded 2 free throws. Substitutes A30 and B40 are at the table ready to enter, and Team B is granted a timeout prior to A1's first free throw. Those players are in the game by rule. Both can enter, let's see, before the first free throw attempt given, there was a timeout. They are actually in the game at that point. So A is our correct answer. Correct 130, or question 131. A1 has the ball, is airborne, and requests a timeout while he or she is going out of bounds or is going into Team A's backcourt, which is true. So, wait a minute. I've got an overlay that's supposed to be showing. Hold on. I moved everything around. Don't know where anything is anymore. Oh. Put this here. Got a little disclaimer down here. Right. So CBOA is a body that does some rules testing and provides documentation here in California. But one of their peccadillos, one of their attributes, is they also, I think, do some testing for collegiate level officials. And so many of the questions that they provide sort of explore collegiate adjacent rules, etc. So there's a sort of a bias in that factor. So in this instance, there's a player is going out of bounds. There's restrictions against that at different levels. Is that player allowed to request a timeout? This is a player in player control requesting a timeout. Are there any restrictions on that in high school? The answer is no. Grant the timeout in either case is going to be our correct answer. That was a long way of getting there. 132. Zooch. Yeah, we're going over California study guide questions. So far, everything's NFHS related, but we will have some California rules and restrictions coming up. Which of these results in a violation by Team A during A1's designated spot throw-in. All right, so we have what are the rules and restrictions during a throw-in? A2, who is in Team A's front court, deflects the ball from the front court to the back court, then goes to the back court to gain control. Is that legal during a throw-in? Yes. A2 leaps from Team A's front court, catches the ball, and lands with both feet in the back court. Is that legal during a throw-in? Yes, that is a rules exception during a throw-in while on defense or during a jump ball. C, A2 leaps from Team A's front court, catches the ball, lands with 1 foot in Team A's front court, and then A2's second foot lands. That's got to be. No. That player, the rules exception allows the player to jump, catch the ball in the air, and make a normal landing. It matters not which foot lands front court, back court, both in the front court, both in the back court. 1 foot on the line, it does not matter. And the timing of the landing does not matter as long as it's a natural landing. So this correct answer here is no violation. That is a legal play by rule. Question 133. When the ball touches which part of the backboard does it cause the ball to go out of bounds? We should just have that answer at a moment's notice. There are 6 sides to a backboard. There is the front, there is the back, there is the top, there is the side, there is the side, and there is the bottom. Only one of those contacting causes the ball to be out of bounds, and that is the back side of the backboard. So not the bottom, not the top, not the sides, the back of the backboard. I wish they were all that easy. Question 134. Which of the following is true if Team A is assessed a technical foul before the game starts? A jump ball will follow the free throws. That would apply to other levels potentially. B, Team A will have possession arrow that follows the throw-in. Oh. Team A is assessed. Team B will be awarded 2 free throws. Team B will get a division line throw-in opposite the table. And Team A will have the possession arrow that follows the throw-in. That is a correct statement. Team B will not have the possession arrow, and they will not shoot 1 free throw. So our correct answer here is B, right? This kind of test question that's really kind of I feel it's kind of a gotcha question, right? It's like stymieing. Even if you know exactly what the correct procedure is in this instance, the question itself is, does not necessarily, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what's supposed to happen, right? Because we talk about test questions, and testing is an important element to judge whether officials understand the rules and restrictions. A test question like this, an official who understands exactly what is going to happen in this scenario may be stymied somewhat by this question, right? So is this an effective evaluation of somebody's understanding of the situation? I rail against questions being poorly worded and what their approach is. I know it's a challenge to create good questions, but at the same time, we should be able to identify bad questions. 135, while in the backcourt, A1 dribbles for 8 seconds and passes to A3, who continues to advance the ball into the front court. A3 reaches the division line with 1 foot in the backcourt, 1 foot in the front court as the count reaches 10. Fantastic, right? This is a great scenario for officials. We must know, first of all, what is a violation in this instance, what the violation says, and then what is the status of the players involved, what is the status of the ball. It is a 10-second violation for a team to be in team control in the backcourt. They have 10 seconds to get the ball to have front court status. If they fail to do so, it is a violation. A3 continues the dribble, and at the count of 10, they have 1 foot straddling, 1 foot in the front court, 1 foot in the back court. What is the status? Have they achieved front court status? No, they have not. This is a violation by rule. It is a 10-second violation on Team A since 1 foot is still in the backcourt. the reason is not because one foot is still in the backcourt. The reason is because front court status has not been achieved. You could say, not a fan. Question 136. Who may attempt the second of 2 free throws awarded to Team A for a technical foul? Great question, right? This is going to happen in our game. A technical foul is assessed. Who may attempt free throws for a technical foul? Right? We need to know that. Any player or eligible substitute may attempt the technical foul free throws. Does it have to be the same player or eligible substitute? No, it does not. We can have one player shoot one free throw, one player shoot another, because at that point they would be a player, even if the coach had brought them in as a substitute. And it has nothing to do with, right? I don't know where I think in the NBA there's some situation, or is NC collegiate officiating, where the coach of the opposing team gets to choose who attempts a technical foul free throw. That is not a thing in National Federation of High School Basketball rules. So any Team A substitute, any of the other 4 Team A players, the same Team A player who shot the first free throw. Yes, any player or eligible substitute may attempt that free throw. Hey. Question 137. Which of the following is true of a flagrant foul? Okay, we know what a flagrant foul is, right? It means immediate disqualification for the player. It may be personal or technical. It's possible to have a non-contact flagrant technical foul. Absolutely, right? We can obviously, something could be said that rises to the level of a flagrant technical foul. B, it is possible to have a contact flagrant personal foul. It is possible to have a contact flagrant technical foul. Yes, the same action, right? We could have a violent or savage contact during live ball. We could have violent or savage contact during dead ball. It is possible to have a non-contact flagrant personal foul, right? No, that is not the case. So we had 2 true statements. Our correct answer, our best answer here, is D. It may be personal or technical. It's possible to have a non-contact flagrant technical foul, right? Racial epithet, a slur of some sort, some action that rises to, that level. All right, 138. While making a throw-in from the backcourt, can we make a throw-in from the backcourt? Right, that's our first clue. Right, throw-ins have no backcourt, frontcourt. The throw-in may be adjacent to the backcourt, but it is not a throw-in from the backcourt. That's a clue. That's a clue. Anywhere around the court, the throw-in is, all the rules and restrictions are the same. So while making a throw-in from the backcourt, A1 passes the ball directly to A3 in the front court. A3 muffs the ball, and the ball bounces directly into the backcourt where A4 retrieves it, right? So it's a great example of this. The throw-in from the backcourt, let's say that the throw-in is from the end line, right? Or it's from the sideline, adjacent to the backcourt. But that same throw-in, the rules and restrictions would apply at the other end line or adjacent to the front court. It matters not. So in order to have a backcourt violation, we must have team control on the court. We must have a player holding and dribbling the ball. Do we have that in this situation? No, we do not. This is not a backcourt violation. Our best answer here is B, even though the language is a bit muddied. 139. Which is true of continuous motion? Rule 411, continuous motion. Yeah, baby. It ends when the shot is either made or missed. That is not the correct. It only applies if the player is in the air when fouled. That is not correct. C, it never applies when a player is fouled on the floor. I do not appreciate that language in a rules question. Or D, it applies when the shooter is tapping the ball toward the goal when fouled. That is a true statement. Ay, ay, ay. I'm looking at your Les on the previous question. Common fouls where the offended player is injured. Opposing coach selects one remaining on the floor. I'm mystified by that. I'm mystified, but I'm moving on. I'm not getting waylaid. 140. A1 loses his or her contact lens during live ball. A1 calls a timeout because the lens was lost. The contact lens is immediately found, and A1 leaves the court in order to replace the contact lens. What should be done with the timeout? We could say, let's say, we could also simplify and say a player's glasses fall to the floor in congested traffic. In that situation, I am always, always, always stopping play. Some kid's $500 pair of glasses does not need to get stepped on. Lance, do we have an exception there where a team requests a timeout here? Why I'm drawing a blank here, I do not know. That is obviously a practical thing. Oh, thank you, Les. Thank you. I understand that. And Lance, thanks for the heads up there as I stumble. That is obviously the and I got you, Les, about it being a collegiate thing. Thank you for pointing out that restriction. Right. So a player says timeout, ref, right, because we've lost a contact lens. I'm going with that. That is, we can rescind that timeout request. It's not for that circumstance. You can tell me if I'm wrong. My brain is cramping on that one. 141. The top assistant coach. Oh, the elite. Well, if they're the top assistant coach, that's going to come into play. The top assistant coach is assessed an unsporting technical foul in the first half. In the second half, the head coach is ejected, and the top assistant coach replaces the head coach. How many more subsequent technical fouls are required before the newly activated head coach would be ejected? Great language in this scenario. So, an assistant coach is assessed an unsporting technical foul. That goes on the individual. In the first half, it would be an indirect on the head coach. In the second half, the head coach is ejected and the same assistant coach replaces. How many more subsequent technical fouls are required before the newly activated head coach would be ejected? A single direct technical foul would cause that coach to be ejected. A single indirect would not. 2 directs is incorrect. And 3 indirect bench technical fouls. No, our correct answer is a single direct technical foul since this individual had already received a technical foul. That's what I'm going with. As best answer, 142, under what conditions is the resumption of play procedure used? A, when a team does not make a free thrower available for a free throw following a timeout or intermission between quarters. Intermission between quarters. B, when a team does not make a thrower available for a throw-in following the halftime intermission. C, when a team does not make a thrower available for a throw-in following a timeout or intermission between periods, or all of the above? Ay, ay, ay. Is fatigue setting in? My brain's not working. I'm going to put C. You let me know if I'm wrong. Is it D, Randy? You talked me into it. Well, because C, of course, when a team does not make a thrower available for a throw-in following a timeout or intermission between periods, okay, it's the start of the third period. Well, are we going to use resumption of play procedure there? No, we are not. So, yeah. 143. Following a hard foul by A50 against B50, the two players begin to fight. Uh-oh. So we have a foul, then a fight. The head coaches from both teams and one assistant coach from Team A step onto the floor to prevent additional fighting, with none of the assistant coaches for Team B leaving the confines of the bench. We need to understand which adults are allowed to come onto the court in this situation. It used to be restricted to the head coaches only. Now NFHS says all of the assistant coaches can come onto the court to help in this situation. Right? That's what we have here. Our question is, I guess we don't have a question. We have a scenario. So in A, let's see, there are no penalties for assistant coaches leaving the bench to restore order when a fight breaks out amongst players. That is a true statement. There is no bench technical, no bench technical, no bench technical. Those coaches are allowed to come onto the court when there is a fight or when a fight may break out. Legal by rule. 144. Which of the following causes the principle of verticality to not be in effect for a defender? Legal guarding position was never legally obtained. That sounds pretty good. Defensive player moves laterally after having gained a legal guarding position and is run into by the dribbler. That sounds like a true statement. The defender jumps vertically after obtaining legal guarding position. That sounds like a true statement. Or, oh, wait a minute. I thought we were going to get it all. Legal guarding position was never legally obtained. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for the support. Would not be in effect for a defender. Would not. Again, you can understand the principle of verticality. Does this question do a good job of testing that understanding? Since all of these are true, A, B, and C, I'd say the correct answer is none of the above. Ay, ay, ay. 145. Team A is wearing red uniforms. The officials notice that A12 has a red hair control device. A22 has a white hair control device, and A32 has a yellow hair control device. Oh, no. Hair control devices have no color restriction by rule. These are not a factor on this play. All of the hair control devices are legal because there are no color restrictions on hair control devices. We need to understand that. And we need to understand what a hair control device is. It's something that goes around hair only. Anything that goes around the head, which includes skull, is a headband by rule. And those do have color restrictions. Hair control devices do not. 146, a double personal foul is ruled in the front court near the sideline while A1's try for goal is in flight. The try is successful. Team A has the possession arrow. Where is the resulting throw-in and by which team? Double, foul, double, technical, double, flagrant, double, right? Point of interruption. Double, point of interruption, right? Own that concept. In this instance, we have a double foul. We will resume with the point of interruption. The ball was not dead. The ball entered the goal. The goal is successful by rule. What is our point of interruption? A throw into the opponent with it for a non-designated spot throw-in. Non-designated spot throw-in along the end line by Team B is the correct ruling. That is the point of interruption after a successful goal on this play. 147. During pregame warm-ups, the officials notice A30, whose team is wearing white uniforms, is wearing a black headband that is 3 inches wide and features one manufacturer's logo. The headband I'm glad you caught that, Mike. I was like, right, so we have a headband that is black and they're wearing white uniforms. Well, now that's got to be something, right? So we need to know color restrictions on headbands in this case. A30's headband is legal because of his or her team's problem. It's not illegal. Not illegal. Right, and that's the key to the equation, is this headband in and of itself. A team that is wearing white is allowed to wear items, headbands, leg sleeves, tights, etc. that comply. They must all be the same color. Those colors may be the predominant color of their jersey, white, black, or beige. Team is wearing white. Their options are white, black, and beige. Black is a legal color as long as all team members who participate, all of their accoutrements, this is a French, accoutrement, comply with that color. So 147, our correct answer is C. 148, A1 has the ball for a throw-in. The throw-in pass deflects off A2. As A2 and B2 are attempting to retrieve the loose throw-in pass, A2 illegally pushes B2 from behind and is ruled for a common foul. Team B is in the bonus. Hey, right? For the administration of fouls, there is team control during a throw-in. And that team control would continue until there is player control on the court. Our throw-in is deflected. The ball is loose. Offensive player pushes a defensive player. That team for the defensive team is in the bonus. But this is a team control foul by rule. C, a team control foul has been committed. Team B is awarded a throw-in at the spot nearest to where the foul has occurred. That's why this play is exactly why team control was bestowed upon the throwing team, is to prevent administration of free throws in this exact situation. Understanding that team control exists is critical here, especially when the game, right, we put a foul on that play and the game sort of wants to go shoot free throws. We've got to stand up and say, no. Identify that as a team control foul. 149, a player enters the game with a logo on each sleeve of the undershirt. What is the penalty? Okay, so we have illegal undershirt by rule. What is the penalty? There is no penalty, but the player may not participate wearing the logo. And it is not a thing that any penalty, any technical foul, the coach said they were legally equipped. And no, that's not a thing. Player can't participate wearing an illegal uniform. 150. A1 has the ball for a throw-in. A1 rolls the ball to A2, who stops the ball by putting his or her foot on top of the ball, then bends over and picks up the ball. This is a violation by rule. They have played the ball with their foot or leg. This is a kicking violation by rule, even though there's no kicking action, but it's a violation by rule. 151, players may wear mouth guards. Absolutely. 152, Team A's head coach is engaging in inappropriate behavior by repeatedly attempting to influence the decisions of the officiating crew and objecting to the crew's decisions by rising from the bench and using gestures. The coach's behavior has not yet risen to the level of requiring a technical foul. How should they address the situation? This sounds like the exact purpose of adding the administrative warning to the game. Since it does not rise to the level of a technical foul, okay, so our correct answer here by rule is the official should stop play and have the scorer record a bench conduct warning in the scorebook and then notify the Team A's head coach that he or she has been warned, and obviously making sure our partners know he or she has been warned. Obviously, for practical purposes, we could escalate, use a preliminary step and say, Coach, that's enough. None of that. We're not having that tonight, right? But by rule, our correct answer here is to assess the bench conduct warning, have it put in the book, inform the coach, and inform our partners. 153. If an official erroneously awards a goal on a basket interference ruling, when must the error be corrected? Any erroneous awarding of a goal, canceling of a goal, failure to attempt merited free throws, attempting unmerited free throws, or having the wrong player attempt free throws, these are the things that are covered by correctable error scenarios. We know that the correctable error window is once the ball has been made live. It cannot be made live a second time. So our situation here would be during the second, no later than during the first dead ball after the clock has properly started. This is the correctable error time frame defined. 154. When is a warning horn sounded? With 5 seconds remaining to replace a disqualified player, that is incorrect. 10 remaining in a 30, incorrect. 10 in a 60, no. Our correct answer is going to be D, with 15 seconds remaining in a 30-second timeout, a 60-second timeout, or an intermission to start and end the interval for replacing a disqualified injured player directed to leave the game. That is the correct answer by rule. 15 seconds. 155. A5 makes a nice move and scores a 2-point goal. Thinking that a foul should have been ruled, A5 complains loudly and is assessed a technical foul. While the official reports the technical foul on A5, Team A's coach is whistled for a technical foul. How many free throws does Team B shoot, and where is the ball put in play after shooting the free throws? Right? So we have a technical foul on a player. We have a technical foul on that team's coach. That sounds like 2 technical fouls. That sounds like 4 free throws for Team B. And at the end of technical foul free throws, we always resume with a throw-in at the division line opposite the table. That sounds like B. Right? So after a technical foul, we always resume with a division line throw-in opposite the table. That is key to answering this question. And we're moving on to 156. B3 commits common foul on A3. It is Team A's 7th foul, but the scorer fails to recognize it, and the ball is awarded to Team A. This sounds like a correctable error scenario. A quick basket is scored by Team A, and the scorer then sounds the horn to notify the officials of the error. Okay, in a correctable error situation, we need to know, are we within the window? Can we correct the error? What has happened in the interim? Has there been a change of possession? Because that'll determine how we resume. In this instance, we are within the correctable error time frame. The ball has been made live. Player went to the basket. The basket was the goal is scored, and the ball becomes dead. Before the ball becomes live here, the scorer then notifies, right? So we are within the correctable error time frame. We will award the free throws that were merited to that player. What is our point of interruption? The point of interruption is the goal has been scored, end line throw in for Team B. Team B, that's how we're going to resume after the free throws in this instance. We would clear the lane. A1 is going to shoot their bonus free throws 1 and 1. After that, then we will resume with an end line throw in. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It is not too late to correct. Play will resume with the result of the bonus free throws? No. Award A3 bonus free throws with no players in the free throw lane line and the basket counts. Award Team B the ball for a non-designated spot throwing on the end line is our correct answer. Right? So the key thing that this brings up is recognizing the correctable error, but also recognizing where the ball is. What is our point of interruption? Because the two questions here are all right, yes, we've determined this is a correctable error. Okay, so how do we proceed? Do we proceed with do we count the goal? Do we proceed with the lane filled and the result of the free throws? No, we don't. We go to, because Team B has gotten the ball, they will have the resulting throw in. We clear the lane. So those are the things we have to know when we do correctable errors, and they are always a challenge. We just have to recognize that and put the pieces together as a crew. 157, a player strikes the backboard with his or her hand. What is the result? There's got to be something. Goaltending? No, it's not that. Illegal play if attempting to block a shot, or a technical foul if the player intentionally and excessively strikes the backboard. That sounds very true. Is it basket interference? No. Is it both? No. Contacting the backboard is not an element of basket interference. I believe it's different at other levels, so we can get that perception seeping into our game, but striking the backboard is not related to basket interference. Our best answer here is B. 158. Team A has the alternating possession arrow to start the second half. However, A1 steps over the boundary line and touches the floor inbounds prior to releasing the ball on a throw-in.
I'm taking the kids to pick up their car, and then I'm going to go to the store.
Okay.
What number are you on?
158. Team A, so we have a thrower violate on an alternating possession throw-in to start the second half. Hold on a second. Come here, buddy. Come on. You're here with me. My tech team showed up. Okay, right. So we have a violation during an alternating possession throw-in by Team A. Team A would not receive a throw-in. It would not remain. The throw-in has ended because of the violation. Team A has committed a throw-in violation resulting in a loss of possession in the alternating possession arrow. The arrow is switched to Team B, and Team B is awarded a throw-in for Team A's throw-in violation. Since this is no longer an alternating possession throw-in, the arrow remains with Team B following the throw-in. That is a long way of saying the correct answer. Ay, ay, ay. A3 is awarded a 1-on-1 bonus after being fouled. Team B is granted a timeout prior to the free throw administration. Upon returning from the timeout, the administering official incorrectly tells both teams 2 shots. A3 misses the first free throw and the ball is not rebounded. All players remain standing along the free throw lane lines motionless in anticipation of another free throw. The officials then realize their error. Which team gets the ball? A3 is awarded a 1-and-1. Timeout is requested. Teams go to their benches. The officials mentally disconnect, right? They come back. They assume that it's 2. They tell the players 2. Players in the first free throw is missed. The ball should be live at this point, but nobody plays basketball. We stop play. Who gets the ball? In this situation, by rule, we're going to go to the alternating possession arrow. C, use the alternating possession arrow to determine which team gets the ensuing throw-in. That is the correct adjudication of this play. It's an official's error that's led to this, right? When all the situations where the officials have made an error, there is always a way to resume by rule. Using the possession arrow here is the correct way to proceed. 160. We've gotten this, so we're about halfway through the episode today. Yeah. Pat on the back. After A1's try is released and is in flight, the official inadvertently blows the whistle. The ball hits the ring, but the try is unsuccessful. What is the result? Again, we have a similar situation. We have the ball is dead. Whose ball is it? There was no team control. When the ball became dead, whose ball is it? How are we going to resume? Right? Super simple. Alternating possession arrow in this situation. Throw into the team entitled to the alternating possession throw-in is going to be our answer here. Right? Simple. 161. Oh, I like these short questions. When can a 3-second violation occur? When the ball is in the team's backcourt? No, we just know, right? Front court status, team control. Team control in the front court, 3 seconds is in effect. Not during a throw-in, during an interrupted dribble in the team's front court, right? This is a situation where we have team control in the front court. The other 3 scenarios, we do not. Not when a try is in flight, not during a throw-in, and not when the ball is in the backcourt. 162. The difference between a penalty administration for an intentional personal foul and a direct technical foul includes which of the following? Well, we know an intentional personal foul is 2 free throws to the offended player and the ball to that team at the spot nearest the foul. For a technical foul, it's 2 free throws for any player or eligible substitute and the ball for a division line throw-in. So those are the 2 differences. So which player shoots is a difference, and the spot where the ball will be thrown is also a difference. So we will say D is our correct answer because both of those are true statements. 163. On a screening play, when both players are moving in the same path and direction, who is responsible for the contact? We would say the player behind. 164. Team B scores a basket with 6 seconds left in the game, and Team A leads by 1 point. Team B applies tight pressure, and on the throw-in, but the throw-in by A1, the ball is kicked by B3 near the end line. So we have a non-designated spot throw-in and a kicked ball during that throw-in. We are not charging a technical foul for kicking the ball. The question here is really going to result, how are we going to resume? With a designated spot throw-in, which would be the result of a kicked ball violation, or a non-designated spot throw-in, right? If we have the kickball violation during a non-designated spot throw-in, that team retains the right to move along the end line. So Team B retains the privilege to run the end line for the That's our correct answer. 165. Where is an arrow indicator that indicates the alternating possession direction required to be located? Right? We are at high school level required to have a possession arrow, and that needs to be at the table. Right? So if we have it on the scoreboard, that's fantastic, but we need it at the table. If there are, let's say our indicator is not working, it doesn't work properly, we can use a water bottle, we can use a pencil. We just need some indicator that is at the table. By rule, 166. What is the result if B1 reaches through the end line boundary and slaps the ball being passed between Team A players who are out of bounds after a score? After a goal, teams are allowed to have multiple players out of bounds. They are allowed to pass the ball between players out of bounds, and defenders' restrictions apply when that pass is in flight. Understanding that a defender during a throw-in, when the ball is out of bounds, being passed between teammates, is not allowed to contact the ball. It would be the same as if it was contacted while being held by a thrower. The same thing would apply. It is a player technical foul by rule, and a delay of game warning would be assessed as well if none had been previously assessed. So the result would be a technical foul on B1. That was a simple answer. But in addition, we would assess a delay of game warning if none had been previously assessed. And if one had previously been assessed, we are only enforcing the player technical in that situation. There is no team technical for this action, violating the plane after a delay of game warning had been issued. 167. B1's attempt to block A1's shot. B1 jumps into teammate B3. B3 pushing B3 into A1, causing contact and a foul. Who is the foul on? The associative property does not apply. This player did something, pushed their teammate into the thrower, the player attempting the try. It's who created the illegal contact, even though it was through no fault of their own, right? So in this instance, B3 is our offender. So unlucky. 168. A1 has a throw-in along the end line. A1 throws the ball inbounds, but no player touches the ball. A1 runs after the ball and is the first to touch it near the division line. What is the result? Right? Great question. This is a throw-in violation. A player who releases a throw-in pass may not be the first to touch the ball. This is a throw-in violation. What's the penalty for a throw-in violation? A throw-in to the opponent at the spot of the original throw-in. That's the key part of this equation. It can seem non-intuitive. This is a long way from when the player touched the ball, that's when the violation occurs, right? But if we identify it as a throw-in violation, then we know we always go back to the original spot. I think we have that in a throw-in violation, end line throw-in. Yep. Right. 2 minutes into the second half, Team B is trailing by 18 points. Its leading scorer is ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct, and Team B's coach says, "My kids are leaving." Right? In this instance, the game has been terminated. I guess we're going to ask what the score should be in this instance. It's not a forfeit at this point, or it is a forfeit, but the score would, since the team that is forfeiting is trailing, we would use the score of the game. If the opposing coach had said, "That's it, right, you guys are terrible, we're leaving," in that instance where the other team was ahead by 18, or where they were ahead by 18, the opponent would win 2-0. This is, yeah. $170. Team A's jerseys have the school name. Oh, no. Oh no, not a uniform question. Team A's jersey have the school name horizontally placed in the allowable area in the front of the jersey and the school's nickname horizontally placed in the allowable area in the back of the jersey. Is this allowed? I don't even know. Oh, Mike's going back to the previous question. Yeah, exactly. I hear you. I hear you. I have no idea what the correct answer here. School's nickname horizontally placed in the allowable area on the back of the jersey. Is this allowed? I believe it is. I don't know that it's not. And since our default as a basketball official is to not make rulings at things being illegal unless we know they are illegal, I'm going to say, I don't know the answer. 171, to which team and where is the throw-in that follows a double technical foul that occurs while Team A has control of the ball? Double. 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 You know what that means? Point of interruption, right? While Team A has control of the ball, it will be a Team A throw-in at the spot nearest to where the ball is. I hear you, Les, on that uniform question. Let me know, Randy, if that horizontal placement of the name is. Did I erroneously answer there? No, there's no penalty. Okay, so our point of interruption in this instance is Team A is in control at the spot nearest to where the ball was, with Team A in control would be the correct answer. Nearest, no, it's not nearest the foul. Nearest to where the ball was located, right? Just commit it to memory. Double point of interruption. When we have a double thing, we have a blarge, right? Double point of interruption. Double tactical fouls, point of interruption. Double fouls during play, point of interruption. Yeah. 172. Ooh, not a lot of words. When a dribbler without contact sufficiently passes an opponent and has head and shoulders in advance of that opponent, who has the greater responsibility for the subsequent contact? Our opponent. Would by rule. Oh, thanks, Randy. I appreciate the forensics on that one, but there were too many words for me to get involved. Awesome. Thanks for that. 173. A fourth quarter ends with the score tied 60-60. As the players of the two teams walk towards their respective benches, A1 curses at one of the officials because no foul was called on a last-second attempt. The officials assess a technical foul against A1, right? It's a great scenario. Tie score. In these end-of-game scenarios, right, we have certain possibilities. One is the game ends and the score differential is, let's say, significant. There's a 5-point lead. And somebody says something, somebody does something before we lead, we assess a technical foul. Since the free throws would not impact the game, there's no impact on those. If we have a game that's close, it's within 2 points, and the team that's ahead commits a technical foul, or it's 1 point, team ahead commits a technical foul, then the result of those technical foul free throws could affect the outcome of the game. Those are administered as part of the previous period, the fourth period. In this instance, though, the period has ended with a tie score. If we have, during the dead ball period, during the intermission between the fourth period and a subsequent period, we have a technical foul, we will begin the next period with the administration of that technical foul. We need to understand all of those scenarios as they apply to the end of game scenarios. So in this instance, the free throws are not a continuation of the fourth period. They do not affect whether or not we will play overtime. We will award the free throws, so D is going to be our correct answer. The free throws awarded to Team B are at the start of the extra period. Following the 2 free throws, Team B will have a designated spot throw-in at the division line opposite the table, and Team A will have the alternating possession arrow. That is our correct answer, right? These end-of-game scenarios, first of all, we have a technical foul. All of the things are in play. Right? We just really need to have a strong understanding of these scenarios, because obviously the decisions we make could have a dramatic impact on the game. So we need to own these. It's not like screwing a play up 2 minutes into the game where we kicked a rule, but obviously the players have the entire game to fix, to not be impacted greatly. But if we make a mistake at the end of the game, that's a big one. Team A calls a timeout following a made try by Team B. Almost like after a scored goal. After the timeout, Team A lines up the ensuing throw-in with all 5 of its players standing out of bounds. Right? So we need to know, after a made goal or a made try, after a scored goal, what are the restrictions on the team for the resulting throw-in? And even if a timeout occurs, those restrictions would still apply. For a non-designated spot throw-in, more than one team member may be more than one player may be out of bounds by rule. So in this instance, where they line all 5 up, that is a legal play. It is not illegal. That's a true statement. It's not illegal, and it's not illegal. This is a legal play. That's all I'm going to say about that. 175. When should the lead mark an attempted 3-point shot? Of course, there's no indication of whether this refers to 2-person or 3-person. I think the implication here is in 2-person mechanics. The lead should mark any attempted 3-point shot below the free throw line extended on the lead's side of the floor. This would be in the lead's primary coverage area. I'm going to assume we are talking 2-person, and that is a solid answer. Not going to spend too much time there. 176. When is acceptable for the lead to pause short of the end line? A button hook, as it were. On a quick transition play, the trail may not be able on quick transition plays that the trail may not be able to officiate. Only when there are I'm going to say that B is our best answer. I'm not going to waste my time on a poorly worded question like that. 177. The lead rules a rebounding foul on Team A that will not result in free throws. The ball will be inbounded by Team B and moved down the court. Do the officials switch position? In National Federation of High School Basketball rules, the officials switch, or mechanics rather, in 2-person officiating, the officials switch all fouls. Yes, even though this is considered a long switch situation, the lead and trail will switch. Obviously, your usage may vary based on what you do locally across the country. Again, this is California. 2-person mechanics switch all fouls. On free throws, the trail official will, again, I think we're talking two-person mechanics, and we're saying when the trail rules a foul in the front court that will result in free throws, we do not switch in that situation. The trail stays tableside, the reasoning being to communicate more effectively with coaches about the previous play. 179, wait a minute. What happened to my... This happened yesterday. Huh. My web page changed. Interesting. Okay. Where should the non-administering official stand during a 60-second timeout? By administering official, I guess we're assuming that means we'll administer the resulting throw-in. So we're talking about the official in two-person who stands at the center circle. On a 30-second, we stand closer on the close edge of the tape towards the table, and on a 60 on the back edge. We are talking about a 60 seconds, so it would be at the intersection of the division line and the center restraining circle opposite the table. Let's see what happens if I do. All right, let me move this down a little bit. Okay. The proper sequence when making a ruling. What is the proper sequence when making a ruling at the spot of the foul? What are our spot of the foul mechanics? Whistle. Point at the player. Oh, jeez. Let's find the best answer here. Whistle, stop the clock with a fist, followed by the fouling player's number, and signal how the play is to be resumed. Yeah, color number consequence at the spot. Really a critical skill for new officials, one that really helps them slow down. That's our best answer on the play. 181. I find this really distracting. After completing the proper sequence when making a foul ruling at the spot, the official should, right? So we take care of business at the spot of the foul. We want to move around players to the reporting area, stop, and clearly communicate to the table what we have. Immediately depart. Well, move to the reporting area. Stand in the area where the foul occurred while completing the proper preliminary signaling sequence, and momentarily pause and hold after to ensure the dead ball action are okay prior to departing the area to report the foul. That is a very wordy way of saying what we need to do. We are not reporting while we move. All right, 182. On a foul ruled by the tableside trail that results in bonus free throws for A1, which position on the court will the official now assume? I'm going to do that. Tableside trail rules a foul that will result in free throws. They are going to stay tableside. They will be the trail. .183, which is true of the lead position. The close down position is the best position from which to work is not a true statement. The wide angle position is not necessarily a true statement. Close down position, pinch the paint. There are no sweet spots the lead should move to establish and maintain his or her best look at a play. a fundamental concept of officiating. That's our best answer. 184. Oh, these questions are coming hot and heavy now. They're quick. They're short. Where should the non-administering official stand during a 30-second timeout? Again, I assume we're talking about two-person mechanics. We would be at the intersection of the division line and the center restraining circle table side. That indicates 30 seconds. Question 185. The lead administers all of the following throw-in situations except front court end line. The lead administers when the ball goes out of bounds in the front court on the trail side of the court below the free throw line. The trail administers the resulting throw-in. Not going to spend a lot of time there. 186. When the ball drops below the free throw line extended on the lead side of the court near the three-point line, the lead we're not moving onto the court. We're not moving in a closed down position. We're not rotating on the lead side of the court. Get in position to adjudicate the play. 187. The trail official, while opposite the table, calls a player control foul in the front court on A5. Right? So we're going to switch. This will be a long switch scenario. The calling official would administer the resulting throw-in. They would be the new trail. 188. Which official will also chop on an end-line front court throw-in, administer the lead? Again, I assume this is 2, but it could also be 3. The trail mirrors the chop by the lead in an effort to help communicate starting the clock to the timer. 189. On a successful three-point try, which official should signal a successful goal? Okay, now we're three-person for sure. Okay, on a successful try, which official should signal a successful goal? The center and trail on every three-point try ultimately would be the answer. 190. The proper sequence when making an out-of-bounds ruling is going to involve a whistle and an open hand, direction and color. Do I need to go any further on this one? I'm going to go. This is how I would approach this in real test question. I would find the right answer and move. 191, B1 obtains possession of a loose ball and starts to dribble when he or she is fouled by A1. All right, so we're not doing mechanics anymore. Oh, I guess we are. The old lead, new trail rules a foul in the backcourt. Team B is not in the bonus. The official reports the foul and will now become the lead. Are we two-person or three-person? Jeez Louise. I'm going to leave it blank. I'm not going to waste everybody's time. 192, the center official who rules a foul opposite the scorer table on the offense becomes the center official. There is no switch in this situation. What? Okay, got it. Okay, the center official who rules a foul opposite the... Let's assume that the resulting inbound spot will be on the center's side of the court opposite the table. They would become the new lead in that instance. Which official is responsible for all backcourt throw-ins? Either two-person. Yeah, exactly, Randy. Our trail is handles all throw-ins in the backcourt in two-person and in three-person. Which official has primary responsibility for a last-second shot ruling? It would be the center or trail opposite the table, or the trail official in a two-person game. The official opposite the table. Again, I don't know if we're two or three-person here. This really is unfair to new officials. 195, if the ball goes out of bounds in Team A's front court along the center side throw-in and will now become Team B's ball, who handles the throw-in? I assume we're going the other direction and they would become the new lead. Oh, who handles the throw-in? The old lead becomes the new trail. In the front court, after reporting a shooting foul, the ruling official should stay tableside or remain tableside. They would be the trail. So I guess our correct answer is D. 197, if the lead official rules a foul on the offense opposite the table with no free throws, who replaces the lead to become the new trail? We do have center in the mix, so we're assuming three-person. Lead official rules a foul on the offense opposite the table. Okay, so here in California, we've eliminated the calls by the lead invoking a switch. So this would be a California rules exception or mechanics exception. So in this instance, our lead would be the trail. This mechanics change, so we would not have a replace the lead to become the new trail. I guess in the old mechanic, the trail, the tableside official, what a mess. I'm moving on. 198, when going to report a shooting foul, the reporting official should walk and report, go opposite, run to the reporting area, stop and report, go tableside, run to the reporting area, stop and report, go opposite. Our mechanics manual says the official should move quickly to the reporting area. That's all I'm going to say about that. But we stay tableside here in California and in NFHS mechanics. 199, when has the lead considered to have completed a rotation? Halfway across, in the lane area, once across the opposite free throw lane line, or within 2 feet, right? The rotation is considered to be completed when they have reached the opposite lane line. Question 200. Wait, that deserves something. Cold coffee. What position should the lead take before rotating? Right before rotating, we want to move to a closed down position and have a slight pause. Closed down position is our correct answer. A2 and B2 foul each other at the same time while A1 is holding the ball in the backcourt. How is play resumed? Well, if we have A2 and B2 foul each other at the same time, we have what is known as a double foul. Point of interruption, baby. Right? A1 is holding the ball in the backcourt. How is play resumed? Play is resumed at the point of Okay, now we're moving on to shot clock questions. Okay. All right, so let's make sure to put up our little disclaimer. Right? So now we are moving into the realm of shot clock violations. When a double foul occurs, do we reset the shot clock? The answer is no. No, we do not. Resumed at the point of interruption with no shot clock reset. We are not going to the arrow. No. Our correct answer is B. 202. A1's try for goal hits the ring, and then the shot clock horn sounds. That is a legal play. We ignore the horn, and play continues. So D, both A and B, would be our correct situation. If we have a horn sound, right, at any point in the game, the players are instructed to play to the whistle. 203. The fourth quarter begins with Team A. I'm going to knock down my... Fourth quarter begins with Team A leading by 40 points. So in California, we also have a mercy rule that is in effect in the fourth period. If a 40-point lead is achieved, Team B has not used any of its timeouts. Team B commits multiple turnovers to start the fourth period, while Team B goes on a three-point shooting tear, and with prudent use of its timeouts, Team B cuts Team A's lead to 10 points within 3 minutes remaining in the game. Does the game clock continue to run? According to the mercy rule, yes, it does. And this is a wildly unlikely scenario. Right? We start the fourth period with a 40-point lead. In an 8-minute period, there's no way. This is extremely fictitious, but the question comes into play. Well, what if the team closes the gap? Does the mercy rule go away? And the answer is no. Here in California, California only exception. Let's do that. So our correct answer... No was set aside, normal timing. Our correct answer is C. 204. During the game, one of the shot clock stops working. What are the options? Okay, this is something that we definitely have to anticipate in a shot clock scenario. If we have one working shot clock, that is sufficient. We're not going to turn off and play without. Play the game with one shot clock is going to be our answer. We are not going to turn off the shot clock and play with an alternate timing device at the table. And we're not going to alter, it is what it is. If both shot clocks fail, then we are going to use a timing device at the table. It's obviously a worst case scenario, but we need to know how to proceed. 205, the ball is inbound after a made basket in the backcourt. A1 begins to dribble up court with pressure, with the shot clock showing 20 seconds in a girls' game. This would imply 10 seconds have elapsed, or 25 seconds in a boys' game, but the officials' count has yet to read 10. What is the option, right? When it comes to a 10-second violation, the officials' count is king. What it shows on the shot clock does not apply in high school in California. It would, at different levels, collegiate level, they use the shot clock as the indication of whether a 10-second violation has occurred. But in high school, that does not apply. So our correct answer is a backcourt violation. There is no violation until the official's count reaches 10. Don't put backcourt violation on that. 206. Before the game, both coaches approach the officials and ask to play the game without a shot clock. What are the options? That is not an option in California. Give both coaches a technical foul for unsporting conduct. Refuse the coach's request and insist a shot clock must be used. That is required in California. Mike, we're getting there. Final 10 questions. It's countdown. 207. A4 is holding the ball in the lane area when Team A's coach is assessed a technical foul. Which of the following is not true? Team A is holding the ball in the lane area, and we have a technical foul. Okay? So we are going to award Team B 2 free throws and Team B throw-in at the division line opposite the table, and we're going to reset the shot clock since they are gaining possession. Which of the following is not true? We are going to reset the shot clock. We are going to award Team B 2 free throws. The throw-in spot is at the division line. Okay. All right. So now that is the one that is not true. We are not going to award a throw-in nearest the spot where the player was. Ay, ay, ay. 208. With 15 seconds on the shot clock, A1's try for goal is an air ball, and Team A recovers the ball. Well, obviously, play continues. It's not reset. So this is true, and this is true, and both of these are true, so that is our correct answer. Odd question. 209, A1 shoots the ball and it lodges between the basket and the backboard. The alternating possession arrow points to Team A. What is the call? So the team that attempted the try for goal, the ball gets lodged, they get the alternating possession throw-in. Now, obviously, no official is going to make this mistake unless it's their first game or first year as a high school official, and they were doing a game in Fremont and they screwed this rule up. Why they did? Amazing. Amazing. I had somebody come to me after the game and said, but why wouldn't the shot clock reset? It's lodged between the basket and the backboard. Amazing. Amazing. But I made that mistake. So we are going to, in this instance, reset the shot clock and award the throw-in to Team A. And we are going to fully reset the shot clock. That is the ruling on this play. 210. Team B's head coach is assessed a technical foul for berating an official. Team A has the ball in the front court, and the shot clock shows 23 seconds. Resulting throw-in will be at the division line and a full reset. So our correct answer is D. Final stretch. 5 questions to go. 211. A1's try is blocked by B1, sending the ball into Team B's front court. As B2 moves to recover the ball, the shot clock horn sounds. The officials call a shot clock violation and award the ball to Team B. That is correct. It would be at the spot where the ball was. Always a tough situation when you have a shot clock violation that's, prior to a team that is about to score recovering the ball. But that, we do it by rule. You see it in the NBA all the time, whether the air ball was collected by the player prior to a shot clock violation. 212. A1 is in the front court and attempts a 2-point try. During the attempt, A3 and B4 are ruled for a double foul in the area near the key by Team A's basket. How is play resumed, and is the shot clock reset? We can, our concept of double being point of interruption, right? We can also relate that to shot clocks. It's not going to reset the shot clock. Oh, I'm sorry. I miss. I'm growing weary in the home stretch. A1 is in the front court and attempts a 2-point try. There is no team control. Double foul is ruled. How is play resumed? We're going to resume at the point of interruption. For the double foul, we had no team control. We'll use the possession arrow. And if the possession arrow favors the team that attempted the try, there would be no reset. And if the ball was awarded to the opponent, there would be a reset. A is not correct. B, okay, I assumed an air ball. I'm sorry. The shot clock shall be reset if the shot contacts the ring. 2 points shall be awarded to Team A if the try is successful. I guess I overthought this. I thought we were talking. So our correct answer is both B and C. I am growing fatigued here down the stretch. 2:13 with 10 seconds on the shot clock. A1 attempts a pass to A2. B1 extends the leg to deflect the pass, and the ball hits the thigh. So we have a kicking violation. Shot clock's at 10 seconds. In California, that involves a full reset. At the collegiate level and at different levels, that would involve something different. But we have a full reset in California. 2:14. After A1's successful goal, the ball is inbounded to B2, who dribbles for a few seconds, becomes confused, and shoots towards Team A's basket. The ball does not enter the basket, but it hits the ring, after which B1 recovers the ball and correctly begins to move the ball up the court towards its front court. Is the shot clock reset after the ball hits their opponent's basket? No, it does not. It is not reset in that situation. And with that, we have come to our final question. And it's very straightforward. The shot clock periods for boys and girls play in California are 30 seconds for girl, 35 seconds for boys. The proposed National Federation standard is 35 seconds. But here in California, we have 35 and 30. Oh, my goodness. So with that, we have completed the 215 questions, episode 1, episode 2. We are done with that. Let me go here. And I will hide that. I will expand that. I will move that down, do something like that. I don't know what I'm doing. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, Mike. Yeah. So, for one association, completion of this is required. I believe for my other association, only passing the test is required. Oh, that's exhausting. Now, obviously, I have to sit here and verbalize all of the questions, but it is a bit of a laborious process. Well, yeah. So I don't think it contributes. Obviously the challenge. It's a real challenge to create testing that accurately reflects officials' understanding of the rules. Creating good rules questions that do that is a challenge. But creating bad rules questions, can really confront officials and create confusion. Now, the bar to pass the test is only 80%, which, it's not that challenging. So even if you have a poorly worded question, you could still get out alive if in a test scenario. Yeah, it is. It's fatiguing, right? And that's always the challenge with doing this stuff. It's just like, okay, I got to commit like a couple hours of time and do this, and it's not an enjoyable process. It would be much easier to, do something that was more dynamic or interactive, but it is what it is. It's a test. All right, Papa Les is out. Well, that was interesting. Out on the court tonight. Hopefully we don't have less the situation where we breathe it into fruition, and you get something that you don't want in your game because we've brought it up. Yeah. It is very fatiguing. All right, fantastic. I'm going to wish everybody a great day. I've got to get on with things, get down to business. We'll see you on Wednesday for Basketball Rules Expert, and I am going to have a smooth show on Wednesday. I've been doing some work. I just threw this together, so it's a little bit ad hoc, but we should have an excellently smooth show on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it. Fingers crossed that everything goes well. So have a square court. I don't know what that means. 3-on-3, half court, something? I don't know. Oh. Yeah, we are facing COVID issues here. Right now, we have officials required to wear masks during the game. One association says we've got to be the uniform police and require the players to be masked. Did a scrimmage with that, and it was a miserable experience. Huh. That'd be kind of. You could combine. You could create a made-for-TV event where you have like a 3-on-3 game in a half court, and there's like areas of the court that are elevated, like a ramp up, like it goes up 6 feet, and if you make a shot from there, it's worth like 4.5 points or something like that. You can create sort of an obstacle course, with a big padded thing in the middle. I don't know. All right, Chicago Discourse. All right, I am out of here. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you Wednesday, man. Have a great one. Appreciate you joining in for watching me melt down over time. Have a great one.